Thank you for joining Cancer Support Community Atlanta for this program. Please visit our website, cscatlanta.org, for a complete list of live and recorded events. We invite you to sign up for our newsletter to stay connected to all future programs.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be back here. Thank you very much for having me. We are excited to continue cooking some Mediterranean-inspired food that supports your cancer recovery and cancer treatment journey. So today I am going to make something fairly simple. If you were here last time I cooked, you'll remember that it was my first time cooking a shrimp bisque, and I loved it. I thought it was really delicious, but there were so many steps. So we're shifting gears today, and we're making something super simple. This is something you could throw together on a weeknight, but it's also very beautiful, and if you're making a side of salmon, it can be impressive. So it's a nice, entertaining recipe. You can get it all prepped, ready, and even all made if you want before your guests come. So it's just a really great example of how very simple everyday ingredients can come together to make something very beautiful and very nourishing. And it is also kind of a template. I want to give you some ideas for what you can make on your own at home, but customize it so that you like it or your family likes it. And today I'm going to use all kinds of different vegetables in this salad, but you can pick and choose what you like or sub or make it even simpler. So this is called lemony Mediterranean quinoa salad, and we're going to serve it with a baked salmon. So my marinade for my salmon is super similar to my dressing for my salad, which makes it a little bit easier for me to cook, to throw together both of them at the same time, and also, helps them to agree with each other when they're in the salad and play nice together. So our salmon, I just pulled this out of the fridge. This is a sockeye salmon. If you like Atlantic salmon, it's not much of a difference. You might cook it for a few minutes longer. The difference is sockeye is, I believe it's always wild. Sockeye is a little bit leaner. Atlantic salmon is often farmed. It's the fatter fish that you'll see. It's a little lighter in a pink or orange color, and it is a fattier fish, a little heavier fish. Okay, so our oven is at 375. My glaze, I've put it together, but I'll show you real quick. We are going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to use a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. We're going to use the zest of 1 lemon. So I already zested it, but you can, just do it with your microplane. You can do it with, I actually had so many lemons to zest this time that I used my box grater. So, I didn't have to stand here and hold it while I did 9 lemons yesterday. This is what makes your kitchen smell really good. So I do this actually after I grate the garlic to kind of make my kitchen and my house smell a little bit better. And it's nice when somebody walks in your house or your kitchen, they always think it smells wonderfully fresh and clean after you've grated your lemon. And this is why we want to make it a glaze, because we have lemon in here, and the acid would cook it if we marinated it too long. It would be like a ceviche. So we've got our lemon zest, we've got lemon juice, we've got a clove of garlic, and the garlic actually gets grated too. And garlic's interesting. The way you cut garlic actually matters. So let's see, tap it on there. This is a very fine little bit of garlic, and because it's a marinade, we want to use the smallest little bits that we can so that it the flavor penetrates quickly. But also when you cut garlic, the taste and the smell of garlic is a chemical reaction with the different compounds that are in the garlic. So if you slice it with a knife or if you crush it with a crusher, it's going to taste different. It's so interesting. Yeah, so I mean, it's all a matter of taste. Garlic is wonderful for you. Garlic is, it's got antioxidants and phytochemicals, and it boosts your immune system. And you know, just like all vegetables, it has fibers. And then with this, you can put chopped parsley in your glaze if you want, or sprinkle it on top. I think it's pretty sprinkled on top. So that's what I do. This to me is like a party. It's like a confetti. Yay! So I like sprinkling it on top. So this is ready to go in the oven. You could let it sit for a few minutes if you want. Whatever. I think maybe I'll let it sit for just a sec, because we're going to take a few minutes anyway to make our salad. So we'll let it sit. 10 minutes is a good amount of time for that. And then this, you might have noticed I didn't dip my brush into this. This is so similar to your salad dressing that if you needed to, the only difference really is it's got garlic and it's a little bit thicker. So if you wanted to stretch your salad dressing, or you wanted to use this for dressing and you like the garlic, you could. And I wanted to keep it in case we want to use it on our salad, so that's why I didn't dip my brush in there. Okay, so glaze. And then when we put our salmon in, we're going to put it in for, I'm thinking 10 to 12 minutes. And I'm going to shift over here and show you how simple this salad is to put together. So let's look at the dressing. So the dressing is going to use my lemon juice. So let's see, I need 4 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. And I've got, I'm going to hope, actually, that my 1.5 lemons will give me 4 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 cup. I don't know why I didn't just say a 1/4 cup. So I love these citrus squeezers, and honestly, this citrus squeezer here at the Cancer Support Center is my favorite one that I've ever used. I have never had one with a little separate lime thing. And sometimes at my house I have one that just has, you know, the large yellow. Sometimes if I'm trying to get all the juice out, I can't. So I stack my 2 in there, and then I turn it over just to get it all out. And then this guy, you can see I already got the zest off of him. So I have a 1/4 cup of lemon. I need 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I just wanted to show you the quinoa. It's not really a big deal. My 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And this is, we've talked about vinaigrette before. This is a simple vinaigrette. It's about, I'm going to say, I don't know, 1.5 parts oil. I'm sorry, 1.5 parts acid to oil. So it's very lemony, very acidic. But it's because we're using the seed, the grain, that's a seed, and all of these other vegetables. And the salmon, which is kind of heavy, so we need to cut through that. Okay, so I'm just whisking as I go, and I need a tablespoon of rice vinegar. Come on, there you go. Tablespoon of rice vinegar. It's rice vinegar to me is pure acid. Doesn't really have all that much flavor besides tart. And 1.5 teaspoons of lemon zest. And while I go get my lemon zest, okay. So I've got my salmon going. I'm building my salad, and this comes together super quick. We've got 3 cups of quinoa here. We've got some salad greens, and it looks like a lot, but when I start mixing it, it's going to, there's just a lot of air in here. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is mix my quinoa with my salad greens, and you will see that it's going to break down. And maybe I will put it in a giant bowl so that I can really show you.
How do you prepare the quinoa?
Oh, the quinoa. So I actually didn't demo the quinoa because it's so much better cold. And it's so simple. You just put the quinoa, you put 1 cup of quinoa, 2 cups of water in a pot with a teaspoon of salt, and you boil it for 15 minutes, turn the heat off, and let it sit. So
Be cold for making the salad.
for making the salad, I like it cold because when it's warm, it sort of clumps together. And when it's cool, you can break it up with a fork, and then you see how it sort of starts coating all of the leaves. If it were warm, it would wilt all of my leaves, and it would just be stuck in little clumps.
Do you think couscous would be an appropriate way?
Yeah, couscous would be great. It'd be just like the quinoa. You might not even notice a difference in the look of it. Yeah. Any of those like super simple, easy to make grains. Pasta's probably the most labor-intensive one, and pasta's pretty easy to make too. But see how as I'm mixing and once I dress, this is all just going to kind of collapse a little bit. It's nice and big and fluffy now. But we got quinoa and greens, and then if you like chickpeas, you can go for chickpeas. I don't love them, so I'm only using half of what the recipe calls for. I do like the taste of chickpeas. I think chickpeas can be kind of hard to digest sometimes. Very fibrous. They're really, really good for us. Half an English cucumber diced, so I'll show you my knife skills. So the way I cut a cucumber is I make a little tunnel, and I cut my cucumber in half. And really anything round I cut in half before I really start cutting it to give myself a nice, stable, safe base. And I'm going to cut this in half again. So with my dominant hand, I hold the handle and I pinch right where the blade and the handle come together. That's called the bolster. And with my holding hand, I tuck my fingertips under so they're safe. And then I put the tip of the knife on the cutting board and I push down and through. And if I want to cut a dice, I turn my slices 90 degrees. I protect my fingers by curling them under. I put the tip of the knife on the cutting board, and I don't lift it up. I keep it on the board and then just, I guess, push down, push forward, and rock. And if you've ever used a knife that has those little ridges in it and wondered what those little ridges are for, it's so your veggies don't stick to your knife. That's why they make them that way. It's actually specifically for vegetables. We'll get rid of these guys.
The glass bowls are blocking our view from this angle.
Okay, let me get rid of them. My glaze is probably in the way too, right? Better? Okay. You can probably move these guys back over there with their friends. Okay, and what's next? We need some cherry or grape tomatoes. These are so sweet. I love them. And you can put the whole thing in depending on what you like, or you can cut them in half. Little tunnel. And we need some bell pepper. I have some pretty orange bell pepper here. I did the same thing. I just cut it in half to give myself a nice stable base. I cut my slices, and after I cut my slices, I turn them perpendicular and make a dice. And you can put as many different colors and vegetables in here as you want, or not. You could make this with just quinoa and leaves and olives and feta and make your life really simple. Some people love to chop, like me. I think it's really relaxing. I feel very productive when I'm done. Some people like the food processor or, pre-cut things. And there's so many great pre-cut things at the grocery store now. You don't have to chop if you don't want. Okay, I've got some red onion that I diced earlier. I've got some cabbage, and I don't have to use too much. I love the crunch of cabbage. It just makes my teeth happy. It definitely gives your, jaw something to do. So cabbage, and if you like it only a little bit, don't be afraid to buy a head of cabbage. It will last in your refrigerator for like a month. This might get a little brown. You can just slice it off, throw it away, continue using it. Cabbage keeps forever. And it's fun. You can ferment it too on your countertop with salt and water. It's pretty simple. And that's really good for you. Okay, so that's it. And then we need Kalamata olives and feta cheese. I'm going to add that at the end. I'm going to keep this salad feta-free, actually. And if people don't want cheese, they don't have to have it. And then this guy, get a little bit of salt. I'll taste my dressing. Let's see if it needs anything before I dress. And that's it. So simple. It doesn't need anything. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, so it's just basic, what's it called, lactofermentation. And it uses the natural yeast bacteria that's in the air. And you can massage your cabbage with salt and then pour water to the top of it. And you want to make sure it's submerged, so you could put a little weight on it. I use like a bowl like this or a ceramic little ramekin. You make sure it's submerged. You make sure it's not stinky. You let it bubble. And it usually takes like, 5 or 6 days. And then you've got a really great probiotic. Then you refrigerate it. And it will actually continue. It's a living thing, so it will continue to evolve in your refrigerator. Pork chops. Honestly, somebody made fun of me. I cooked a steak in there. It came out great. Perfect. And the reason I think is that very consistent, even cooking temperature and environment. And that's what it's all about. What else I love about the air fryer is I can put it outside. And so I'm sensitive to smells. I really don't love cooking meat inside my house. Especially, I don't eat much bacon, but when I have a recipe that calls for it, I'll make it in there and put it outside so my house doesn't smell like bacon. Yeah, just carry it out to the porch. Plug it in, turn it on, try not to forget that it's out there, which I often do. Oop. Okay, and that's it. There's salmon. Remember my salmon, I'm trying. Sometimes it comes off in nice long pieces, trying to take the skin off and chunk it in there without the skin. And this glaze will mix in with your dressing, and it will be lovely. Sure that one doesn't have any skin on it. Any questions about this? Any more questions? It will. What I would do is if I were making a large batch of this, I wouldn't dress it all. I would just dress what I wanted to eat, and then dress it as I wanted to eat it. So you can serve it like this. You can mix all your salmon in there, or you could serve the salad and then serve a nice, piece of salmon on top of it, like that. That's it. Yeah. Ta-da!
Thank you for joining Cancer Support Community Atlanta for this program. If you're interested in other live or recorded programs, please visit the online program tab of our website, cscatlanta.org, or follow us on Facebook. We'll be sharing additional information on upcoming programs.